Welcome to episode 17 of the M Coupe Project, and well, within this episode I'm going to try to wrap up all the minor things that we need to do with the car, like for example the front bumper, rear bumper, along with the mid-wing and front lip. So with that being said, last time we left off on the front bumper, it was essentially like 30% complete. We did all the inlays, well Justin did that, and well now today we're going to attempt to fully finish the front bumper, and after that we should be able to finish the rear bumper along with that, and possibly the mirrors as well, but we'll see how far we get within tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so very awkward news. We don't have enough material to do the front bumper, which is totally fine, I guess. I would have to figure out how to get another roll. In the meantime, I guess we'll be doing or using the excess material that won't fit over the front bumper on the mirrors along with the wing. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so as you can tell, we made our first attempt at the front mirror, and I think after a few tries, Justin single-handedly managed to kind of figure out a way to actually get it done, wherever it is. I'll probably show you guys tomorrow when I resume this another time. It's in the car. Oh. So this is how it looks. We just need to do the base, but so far it has came out pretty solid, considering that it is literally a football. So, with that being said, we also wrapped the mid-wing, so that will go on, I guess, the next day too, and I will show you guys how that looks. It is currently 1:51 a.m. We are all very tired, and we are gonna go home, and I'm gonna continue this on to another day. So I'm gonna clap now, it's gonna fast forward to the next day, or the next couple days. All right, so a couple of weeks has passed, and actually somehow managed to land my hand on almost another roll. We're gonna go ahead and continue on the front bumper and see how far we get today, and hopefully, I think we should be able to actually finish it. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so thankfully me and Justin over here, we finished the front bumper after a brutal, I guess 5 hours or so? I think 4 hours. This is how it looks, it's all in one piece. The primer, we had issues with the primer in areas where it was towards the corner. When we lifted up, primer would come up with it. That kind of sucked, but it's now done. And I think what's next for us to do is going to be finishing up the last mirror and the rear bumper. Then I think, oh, and then the front lip. And afterwards, it's time to reassemble the car, but it's quite late right now, so I'm gonna clap now and it's gonna fast forward to the next day. All right, so a day has passed and I've actually been here for 6 hours, pretty much working on the lip over here. As you can tell over here, it's pretty much done. I just need to do the other side, but I wanted to make sure the way I was doing it was a way that would actually work before I filmed everything. So this lip right here was done in 3 pieces, I think. Yes, it was done in 3 pieces. So this was very interesting to do. I think this took me a really long time for whatever reason, but this one I used 3M tape to put on. I think I'm gonna use rib nuts for the other side, just because I think it would hold better. Also, I didn't have the right rib nut tool to actually install the rib nuts, or at least I couldn't use it because the thread where it bolts into the rib nut was too short for the rib nuts that I was supplied with to actually use for this lip. So I think I am going to be using my own set that, as long as it, I think as long as I can actually put the bolts that they gave me into the lip or into the bumper, that should be fine. But this side is gonna be 3M tape just for the time being. This side over here, I'm going to be using rib nuts. So let's go ahead and get into it. Gosh diddly darn it. So I was kind of using this opportunity to learn essentially how to lay seams and what I can do, and trying to kind of work around the materials, or try to learn how to use the material on more curved areas. And basically I made a relieve cut, or a cut where it's, there was way too much excess material, so I decided to cut it. In doing so, I actually messed up and I went past here, which I am not too sure exactly how I'm going to save this, but I guess I'll figure this one out. Kind of sucks. Anyways, yeah, just go ahead and keep going, and then I'll just show you guys the final result once I finish. This is probably not my proudest work, but you know, I do want to get this finished, and you know, down the road I could always just redo it. It's not too big of a deal. I can just always rewrap it or whatnot. But for the sake of just finishing this project and getting this thing on the road so I can continue making content with the car being finished, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just basically finish this up. All right, so the riv nuts totally did not work out. I put them on an angle, and so basically it didn't line up with the lip. So totally my fault, probably should have done more research before doing it. Anyways, I decided to use 3M tape, and well, now it's on. So with that being said, this is the front bumper and how it looks. It is significantly heavier because of this lip. This lip is like 3D printed or something like that. It is ridiculously heavy. Anyways, so with that being said, all that's left now is the rear bumper, and I just got to reassemble everything. So let's go ahead and clap now and fast forward to the next day. All right, so now it is the next day and it's time for us to remove the front bumper. I need to take off the headlights too, but I'm gonna swap over the new bumper, and afterwards I can start working my way towards the rear, and hopefully by the grace of God, I can hope that I can actually reassemble everything by tonight. So let's get started. First step is to look at YouTube. Hey guys, Chris Fix. All right, so after yet another 12 hours, literally the past 3 days I spent at least at a minimum 12 hours every single day since Friday to Sunday, which is today. The car is 98% complete. The only thing that's really missing is going to be the mirrors along with my wheel well and putting on my wheels, all the miscellaneous interior stuff. So yeah, this is currently how it stands. As you can see, this is the mid-wing that I was talking about, and I also fixed the license plate frame area. And so previously there were rivets and I added riv nuts and I bolted something in so that it can actually bolt on. So that is probably the more ideal way to do it and not a permanent solution to never come off. But yeah, 5 dreadful months, and dude, this thing looks incredible to me, dude. Like the wheels aren't even on yet, and I'm so excited to actually drive this thing once again. I haven't driven a manual car in so long, and yeah, I'm just, I can really see the light at the end of the tunnel. This entire journey was one hell of a roller coaster, and if you're asking me would I do it again, absolutely not. Wow, yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm able to say that this was built and done by me. Although it's not perfect, there are areas where it is definitely not my best work, and I wish I could redo it, but I spent so much time. I just want to get this thing back on the road and possibly redo it in the future. Yeah, holy shit, man, it is. Yeah, so that being said, that is enough abuse that I put on my body. I'm gonna take the weekdays to rest and probably resume this in a couple of days or maybe in a week. So I'm gonna clap now, I'm gonna fast forward. All right, so a couple of days has passed, and well, today, I am really hoping that I can actually finish this car tonight. I'm gonna be working on the mirrors along with installing the wheels, putting back the door cards, and putting back the wheel well. So yeah, tonight I'm very determined to finish this. I'm probably gonna stay here very late once again. So let's go ahead and just get into it. Also, since last time I wrapped the mirror, and as you can tell, it's not the best, but I tried to do this to the best of my ability. Wrapping this was extremely difficult. I literally could not do this in one piece, and I had to seam it, and the seam is kind of starting to peel a little bit, but it's okay. It's I'll probably redo this one in the future. I just really want to drive this car so bad. Okay, now it's time to do the other mirror, which is over here. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to make a seam over here. And yeah, let's go ahead and just kind of get into it. All right, I am not going to lie to you guys. This is a solid 3 out of 10 job, but it's kind of done. I'm definitely gonna redo this because I do have extra material. I'm gonna redo this in the future just for the sake of me being able to drive this home tonight. I will be putting this on. It's really not that big of a deal because I can just rewrap it while it's on the car too. So I'm gonna start putting things back and we can put on the wheels as well. All right, so I totally didn't record, but the mirrors are on. They look horrendous. I definitely will redo these in the future, but totally fine for now. Totally fine for now. Time to put on the wheels and the wheel well. Oh, dude, holy shit. Oh my god, dude. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. 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 All right guys, so it is currently 12:39 a.m. and I did actually finish the car thanks to my friend Adelyn, who's off camera. Yeah, come in. My good friend Adelyn is an A90 Supra, which you'll probably see more if I do continue to make more YouTube videos. And he was a huge help for me actually, putting everything back together, especially the door cards, because I realized I could not do that single-handedly. But it is quite late. We are going to go get gas. I'm gonna drive this home. I will show you guys more of this tomorrow. And I'm gonna clap now. It's gonna fast forward to the next day. All right, so couple weeks have passed, and as you can see, this is how the M Coupe finally looks. After I finished the car, there are a few things that I did and I didn't record, which was me fixing a few issues that occurred once I was able to drive it home. For example, when I first drove it home, the next morning that I was driving it to work, I could not put it into gear when it was hot outside, so that was a really big issue. Eventually, I did end up switching out my clutch line to a stainless steel clutch line from Rogue Engineering, and that, I think, may have been what actually solved the issue. And then obviously I flushed the fluid, which probably has never been flushed before. And then after that, I did the transmission fluid, which I suspect maybe that could have caused a reason why, or may have been a potential factor as to why I couldn't put it into gear. The clutch line and the fluid being bled, and then the transmission fluid flush also being in there, that fixed the issue. And I also did an oil change in the meantime too, which really isn't that big of a deal. But yeah, if you're watching this, I probably haven't posted a video in probably 1 or 2 months. And after finishing this car, I just wanted to enjoy and actually kind of sit back and relax to kind of take a look and just learn to appreciate everything that I've kind of did throughout this entire 6 months. So yeah, aside from that, a lot of things has changed, a lot of things has happened in my own personal life too, and well, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. And I think I really needed to take some time away to kind of just be able to process everything and get into a new perspective or new mindset. So yeah, this is pretty much how it is now, which I am very happy with. And so now I'm gonna do some B-rolls to show you guys what the car looks like. And on the next upcoming videos, I'll probably point out all the flaws and mistakes that I've made throughout the whole entire process and kind of go into further depth as to like what happened. So let's go ahead and cue the B-rolls. So obviously the car is not perfect for me doing this literally by myself or DIYing the whole entire process. It's not perfect, but I will say it's a far better result than I was actually anticipating. Before I decided to take on this project, I think prior to then, I was not good with my hands. I was never good at arts and crafts, and I was like very, very skeptical in the idea of whether I could actually do this. But going into this project, I had this mentality in mind where it was kind of like, oh, if I break something, I break it, I'll just replace it. If I mess up, I'll just redo it. And I think that really helped me along and actually like continue moving forward with everything and not being scared to do it. And of course, a lot can argue that this is a quote unquote rare car. And you know, to be more specific, this car, I believe there's one of 6 in the United States in this exact spec. And yes, maybe I could have done this on a more higher production car, which it doesn't really matter and not really a collectible and this and that. But honestly, there's really no good place to start. And I guess it's more sentimental to me that I did all this stuff to this car because, well, that was the whole entire purpose of buying this car, right? When I first bought this car, this was in not the best condition, and as you can tell in the earlier videos, I had covered pretty much why I was doing this whole entire project. But even then, within the first year of owning this car, this is my second year, I believe. The first year I was sorting out all of the mechanical issues and pretty much doing as much preventative work and maintenance as I could. So now it's reliable enough for me to actually daily, and so this past year was made for me to actually make it how I envisioned, or my dream M Coupe to look. And of course, I'm probably not gonna get remotely anywhere near how much I've dumped into this car if I ever do decide to, you know, part ways with it. But yeah, I really do appreciate every single one of you that are taking time out of your day to watch this. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I tried to literally do this to the best of my abilities. I had never made a YouTube video before or any long form type of content. But yeah, I guess what's next for this car is going to be suspension and bushings. And then after that, I will consider the idea of adding power. That's kind of like the last thing I wanted to do because I live in California, and you know how living in California is when you modify anything that does with emissions and all that shit, right? So the car is reliable, the car looks presentable, and now the next step is to get it to actually feel and drive as good as it looks. I have yet to actually put this car on a lift to see exactly what components need to be swapped out, and I do think there are quite a bit of stuff that needs to be swapped out, but I will cover that in a future video. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Hopefully, if I do have the inspiration and motivation to continue making these videos. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Deuces. All right. Welcome back, Thomas. You can make content again. You have your car, you can drive. You don't have to borrow people's cars. That's great. You can stop spending a ridiculous amount of money on this car. Life is great. Life is great.